Grant, congratulations. It shocked you?
Very much so. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Thank
I saw you like mid-bite. Like, yeah, I was like, when is he going to take notice? And I saw Noah Dalzell just looking at him like, I think that's you, man.
The whole time I was thinking it was going to be Nate. I was sitting here, I was like, you know what? He just came,
Like, no,
came
this
back
one's
from
me.
Rwanda, came from Gala. I was like, he's going to be, he's young, all this other
you go.
stuff. Once I took that last bite, all I hear is panache. I was like, yeah, let me go put my fork
That's
down.
me. That's me. Good recognition. Nate, I want to start with you because, you got your first experience in Rwanda a summer ago with your family. What was that like for you?
It was great. I mean, as a a young high school kid finishing high school, I don't think I really understood what sport for development meant. Like, it was just a game I enjoyed to play basketball, but it kind of opened my eyes to the possibilities of using this game of basketball to change other people's lives and how it can impact a city, a country like the country of Rwanda. So I was just blessed, and it was a truly eye-opening experience for me.
Is there, when you are able to make these trips like this, like for me, I've never been to Rwanda, but to go across the globe, to be a baller that you are, and to kind of just see a different lens of life. Is there something that sticks with you, a story, a specific moment that you cherish and have brought back here that stays with you?
I mean, just going over there in general, I thought that I was doing something for those kids in that community, but really they were doing something for me. Just seeing the world in a whole different perspective. There's so much history that comes with Rwanda, and to say that I'm a part of something greater than just my family name is awesome, and to hold the country of Rwanda in my heart and being able to represent them is meant so much, and truly just being a part of the country of Rwanda has been something that I can't compare to anything else.
Pat, you first of all, Massachusetts native. Shout out Arlington. So we got the Massachusetts native in the house, and Notre Dame. You have been continuously investing into Shooting Touch, and all the way to the courts that you guys have established as a family out in Rwanda. Why have you been just so intentional about stretching your wings in terms of the investment across the globe into Rwanda? Why does that matter to you this much?
Well, I think what Nate said, but also obviously congratulations to Grant. Some of our teammates are here, and there's no one that's more fun to give a hard time to than Grant. But
No.
I think all of us respect everything that he does, both on and off the court. And so when it came to Shooting Touch and his involvement, I've gotten to know Justin a little bit, and so that was kind of the organic nature of the start. But to see what they've done and to see the impact that they've made on the country of Rwanda, and then just in general, and then obviously being so close with Grant, he's been over there. I haven't yet, but hearing from him all of the great work that they're doing and all of the utilization of the basketball court and courts that they're building or want to build, and how they utilize them for so much more than just a game. All those translatable life skills, hard work, teamwork, leadership. I know the court that we initially partnered on prior to these next 3 courts that we'll be doing together. The community helped build the court. So just all of those life lessons that I think are taught through the game of basketball, and they're doing it at such a high level over there. It was something that I'm just happy to be a part of and thankful that they wanted to include me.
Grant, I mean, congratulations for you getting the award. Just your partnership with Shooting Touch, as Justin attested to, you've been with Shooting Touch for a long time, and your investment is so true to who you are and what you represent. I know that you just talked about going to Rwanda for the first time with even working with Lindsay and Justin. What was that experience like, being on the ground of Rwanda?
It was special. You partly understand why Rwanda is the country that is in standing and how it's presented to you when you go over there, and then when you get there, you see the impact that Shooting Touch has made. Just even the conversations between villages, like the word Shooting Touch matters, and they understand that not just the resources they provide from a financial or from development standpoint, but also the health benefits. Like, that's something that when I first got over there, they communicated to me was a thing, and even years past, we talked about it. But when you actually show up and you see the actual utility of the health kind of conversations and clinics that they have at the courts, it makes you speechless, honestly. And being over there in Rwanda was a special experience. I always tease Justin and those guys because they know my favorite animal is the hippo. So
Wait, why the hippo?
that's a long
Okay,
story.
yeah.
But
The hippo, okay.
when we went to the national
I
park,
didn't know you
that's-
liked hippos.
hippos are my favorite animal to this day, publicly.
Why does that kind of
We're gonna
not
share that
surprise
with the
me?
team
It's
later.
a deep conversation, yes.
Favorite animal, the hippo.
But
Proceed.
so outside of us going to the safari and seeing the hippos, I always joke that like that's my number two. The number one was actually the work that we were able to do because I remember painting the courts with people within the community. We're over here painting Connaughton Court, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, Grant misspelt it the first time.
Okay, all right.
This is not like a Brady roast session or a
remember-
Grant
remember-
Williams
remember-
session. Like just shooting touch.
Remember how he said that people just love, getting on me sometimes? So as you can see why. But it was just a special experience, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Like I want to go back. I talked to Justin and those guys. I say if I can come every two years, I try. We talked about Africa August is kind of what we described it as when we were there. So it's a special place, but also it's a special work being done.
When you guys play at the elite level that you play at, you get the fans every day. You see the autographs being signed. You guys are signing the autographs. And then you kind of go across the globe. I know, Pat, you're looking forward to doing that soon. But to kind of be humbled in the way that you're saying, like painting the courts. Nate, what is that like to kind of go back to bringing the foundation of the game and what it really is about?
Yeah, it's great. It kind of took me back to just why I wanted to play the sport. I just wanted to be like my big brothers and kind of play with all the people in my neighborhood. And if I could think of a story of when I was there, I remember we were doing all these games with the little kids, and then they played 5-on-5 and stuff, and I thought we were finished, but then here comes 10 grandmas that are about to play 5-on-5 against each other. So it was great to just kind of get that community aspect. I feel like the game of basketball is a child's game, but also can do so much for just everyone that's involved. So the community aspect is so huge with the basketball, and it's why I started playing, and it's great to kind of see that echo throughout the whole city and country of Rwanda.
When they came at you, the grannies, like, was it,
They had some good game. No, they had some good game.
I was going to say, 'cause
some crossovers, some stuff like that, but nah, they were
between the
really
legs
good.
action, little cross, reverse layup. Pat, why do you continue to pour into the mission of shooting touch?
It's utilizing the game of basketball that I'm assuming everybody here loves, but obviously everyone on the stage loves. And it teaches you just more than the game. It teaches you leadership. It teaches you all the things that I mentioned before. I always said if I was fortunate enough to make it to the NBA, I'd give back to the people and places that kind of helped me do that. We've done courts here in the Boston area. We've done courts in the Midwest, out in Notre Dame and Milwaukee. But Shooting Touch's ability to not just do courts, do their programming, and continue to invest globally in the game of basketball, but not because their number one priority is to try to help someone make it to the NBA. Their priority is to really help with the simple things. It's to help develop the kids and the women that there are so much in this world that basketball teaches us, so many skills that translate to everyday life. That's what I learned early on. Sports in general, but specifically, obviously, the game of basketball, helped me socially. It helped me understand, competition. It helped me understand sportsmanship. It helps you understand so many things that translate outside of the game and outside of that 94 feet on the court. And I think Shooting Touch does a tremendous job of embodying that.
Thanks for saying that. Yeah. Grant, I know for you, you're all three of you, and I point you out specifically because you are such an advocate for the WNBA, specifically having a sister in it. I appreciate that more than anything. I think you even wore, when my sister, after she got cut by Dallas, you wore her jersey. Yeah. So there's just the support that you see these NBA players are having with the W is huge. It's huge. I'm watching it, it's fun to see the collaboration between both of them. But I feel like it starts, at least from my experience, I don't play professionally, but it starts at a young age. When you see Shooting Touch and the young girls in the back who are trying to evolve in their game, or if it's beyond the court, whether it's owning a company, being part of one, whatever their dreams are, why does it matter to invest in the youth?
It's the most important thing. The next generation of athletes, of scholars, of individuals, how they're taught and mentored it really, you got to teach them your failures and your lessons. And I think that next generation will continue to do the same for the next. Because if they're instructed that way, that's how they provide to the next generation. Versus if we kind of leave them alone and let them be, that why would they not do the same for the next ones after them? So I think it's the most important thing, especially at a young age, the concept of mentorship, the concept of someone believing in you without some ulterior motivation. And I think that gives a credit to the people in this room, but also a credit at Shooting Touch is that, like Pat was saying, they show up and bridge the gap in communities where you don't necessarily have to. They show up and give a conversation and dialogue that people feel uncomfortable having, but when they do have it, they feel more secure and safe. And if you have a community of that like projects being safe and trusting one another, then it allows you to move everyone forward rather than an individual. And I think it's special with the work that we're doing here at Shooting Touch, but also to the young women in the back. Like they're always joke that they're more mature than us at the age, but they also have an understanding.
I would agree with that a little bit.
They also
I agree.
They also have the same level of confidence and work ethic, and that's something that we have to promote and continue to encourage and continue to grow and build. So I think the benefits of not just bridging the gap of one of the communities between using basketball is one of the most valuable things, but also just showing up and being present. And I think that everyone in this room that's been involved in this organization does that every single day.
Well said. Thank you. Nate, as you step into your NBA journey, knowing how personal this experience is, how do you hope to carry this forward, and what role do you want Shooting Touch to play in that?
That's a deep one. Yeah, I mean, just the same type of values that I learned while I was over there in Rwanda with Shooting Touch, I hope to carry out through however long my career is. How basketball can, do so much more than just, the NBA or the WNBA. It can change lives. So I know my view of basketball is forever changed by Shooting Touch and how it can impact lives beyond myself and my families. And I hope that I can just continue that mindset throughout my whole career and my whole life, really.
Yeah. Pat, if there's one thing that you want our audience to really understand about Shooting Touch, just with your involvement in the program, what is that?
I'd kind of echo what Grant had said is, the more people that are involved with Shooting Touch, the more that they can accomplish, right? I know for us and at my foundation, we've committed to, the next 3 years of donating to Shooting Touch and building 3 more courts over in Rwanda and continuing to help invest in programming. And that's because of all the great work that they do, and it's of that team, right? Like, we're all now on a team. I know some of you will probably be rooting for the Celtics tomorrow, but those who are rooting for the Hornets, you got something to root for tomorrow. But we're all a team because we're all here trying to do something that's bigger than us. And I think, as Nate was just kind of alluding to, the experiences that Shooting Touch provide, both for those that go over with them or for those that are in Rwanda, it's bigger than basketball. Basketball is that vehicle, as Grant said, but it's bigger than basketball. And so the more that you can spread the word of what Shooting Touch does and the mission that they carry out, the programming that they do, both on and off the court, the more that they'll be able to accomplish. So to try to be a little small piece of a wind behind their sails is something that I pride myself on. My foundation prides themselves on. Those who are here with me tonight from my foundation, they do all the hard work, the legwork, and work with Shooting Touch, who do even more of the hard work and lead work. So, just happy to be a part of it and happy to be the most underdressed guy up here on the stage.
Show the shoes.
They're fake.
Okay. No one would know. No one would know. The courts, though, I mean, just seeing that, how neat is that for you to see? Like, that's what your initiative and that's what you're pouring into is coming into fruition, seeing those courts. Yeah,
it's really cool. I mean, look, we started just doing clinics locally. Like I said, give back to the people in places that helped me get here. Arlington's, 5 miles away. But the courts is something that really took off because it's something that can be utilized 365 days a year. It can be used for basketball. It can be used for any other sports. It can be used for classrooms. It can be used for a plethora of things. So, when we first got approached by Justin with regards to what Shooting Touch does and their mission to grow the game of basketball over there and utilize it for its translatable life skills, but specific within courts, it was kind of a perfect match because courts is like this tangible thing that you can see. It's something that, when you help make a court possible in any location, whether it's in our backyard here in Boston or over in Rwanda, it's something that, you see the youth use all the time. They can use it whether there's a program going on or whether there isn't. And I think, just it goes far beyond and is much bigger than, what we even do. And it's something that I think just kind of puts a flag down for basketball as a game that can be played by anybody at any given time and can, have an impact far beyond that court. So it's been awesome to see.
Thank you for what you do, all three of you. Thank you for being here on such quick notice because you just got off the plane. And I think it speaks volumes of these guys and what they're pouring into when it comes to shooting touch because they got a game tomorrow. And it's an 82 regular season game, right? With 4 games left, at least with the Celtics. So, you could argue that you're tired, you're trying to go into tomorrow, but that's how important shooting touch is for these three to really speak about the program to all of us. So thank you guys. I want to get one more round of applause for Pat, Nate, and Grant. And congratulations.
Thank you.